So I was watching Nick Fuentes, which I don't watch it as much anymore because there's only so much I can um, stomach of that kid. But I do have the habit of keep your friends close and keep your enemies closer, if you guys understand what I'm saying. So I always kind of peek at Ben Shapiro, and others to see what their beliefs are and if there's any hope and redeeming grace, right? And it seems, but he's done 180s before, so I'm not holding my breath for this kid to fully get the picture of it all. But it seems that he is clearly annunciating to his followers, which are many, that Trump's been scamming them. And as a matter of fact, he was harsh on the GOP. My goodness. Like, he told them that he wants to burn them all down and then rule over their ashes. Which, you know, is hardly possible, but we shall see what he succeeds or doesn't succeed at. But at the end of the day, in the show, him and the presenter, because it's not his direct clips on YouTube, it's somebody that presents it for him, as he has been banned, from what I understand, in the past. Um, he, both of them said, well, pretty much enough talk. What is it that we can do, right? And they're not willing to let Democrats lead because they're taking it too far left, and they're afraid that once in power they're going to do that again, which too far left means, having absolutely no traditional values and imposing that on everybody else. And then they want to take it too far right and imposing all the traditional values on everybody else. So what's the happy medium essentially was the gist of the discussion. And I don't know, everybody sees me as cray cray, but I'll just say it anyway. Replace them, all of Congress, all of SCOTUS, with bots. There is absolutely no necessity at all to have humans that are fallible, and absolute power corrupts absolutely in those positions, because at the end of the day, whatever positions they need to take, especially in Congress, can be a push notification to everybody's constituents. And then from there on, the bot takes it and just executes in Congress according to what the constituents decided. In regards with the Supreme Court, it could be some bots that take up every case and levy it against former cases, specialized cases, as well as the law itself, and then can tell whether or not it should rule for or against it. Now, because it's the Supreme Court, mistakes can be made because these bots are still programmed by humans. Let's just say there's like a alternative appeals allowance, where 3 judges, that one is Republican, one is Democrat, and one is the dead smack in the middle, whatever we're gonna call that, can supersede the bot's decision if all 3 of them rule unanimously that it was wrong. Now, with that being said, there are so many people that want to consolidate all the power into one branch, which is the executive branch. And the executive branch, especially this past year, thanks to morons like Steve Bannon and Stephen Miller and J.D. Vance, who declare that ICE has absolute immunity. Bitch, you don't even have absolute immunity. What the fuck are you talking about, bro? And somebody that went to law school says this dumb shit. And then the Klan and the cult propagates it. But with all of that being said, I think even in the executive branch, it is a necessity to have every executive order run through a system that 1000% compares it to whether it is constitutional or not, whether it is something that the founding fathers would have wanted, and it could be a computer that can be checked by partisan at any time and audited at any time to make sure that there is no hacking and that there is no partisanship at all when those computers are being used, whether that's in Congress or SCOTUS or the executive branch, just in order to keep our democracy strong and beholden and not let it slip away like we are right now. And there are people that want to be ruled. And if you want to be ruled, there's Russia, there's Israel. Like, why do you force all 50 million of us to switch over to a system that none of us want? Everybody that lives here wants to live here in a free and fair democracy and have a republic. I know that's a big sucker feeling for the billionaires that partied with Epstein. I am so sorry to burst your bubble that you wasted half your life becoming rich and powerful to subjugate us to a system that we don't want. But this is a country of rebels. This is a country of the free, the brave, like that kind of system on a country like this is like the biggest like low EQ moment these billionaires ever had. Like, how the fuck were they all sitting around in a think tank being on ketamine and all, thinking to themselves, yeah, the most rebellious country in the world, yeah, damn, we're gonna subjugate them. I don't know if we were a case study. I don't know what the fucking idea was, but this is not gonna happen. In the United States of America, people want to stay free because freedom is all they have. Everything else you guys took away. So if you guys think they're gonna give up freedom without a fight, y'all are massively mistaken.